Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto live stream. Hope you guys are all doing good. Hope you guys are all feeling well. I think we have a very cool episode coming up here, and I actually think that this is one of the better videos as well. So a lot of people basically can watch this live stream in hindsight and still get all the most important information, as we're basically going to be talking about what's about to happen in the Ripple v SEC lawsuit tomorrow. And as I've explained before, guys, it's a pretty big deal. Now, one thing I also should mention is that most likely the majority of the people didn't get a notification right now, and that's because accidentally I should have waited another couple of minutes basically to make sure that you guys all got the notification. Point being, if you are not yet in this notification group, guys, make sure you quickly head over to Telegram and join it. Stick around, because I will not spam you guys in there with crazy posts. I just post once every time that I make a new upload, a new video. And that's basically all that there is in this group, right? There's nothing too crazy. We also, however, have a group where you guys can chat for fun. I'll also leave a link for that one in the chat box right there. You guys can join that one too. And yeah, if you want a link to Bybit, there's also one down below. There's the exchange you use to trade. Okay, first of all, guys, nothing in this video is legal or financial advice. It's not right now a live stream, by the way. I can see what you guys are all writing. Let's get it going, all right? Let's get it going. So first of all, guys, James Fillon posted an update a little while ago already, September 1st, on what the current schedule for the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is going to be. And if you've paid some attention to it, you'll find here that on September 14th, there is the SEC's publicly available limited redacted or moderately redacted letter brief concerning the allegedly privileged documents the SEC is withholding. The unredacted documents are being delivered to Magistrate Judge Netburn in physical and digital form on that day. So, a little bit of story time. Last day of August 31st, there was a Ripple v SEC hearing in which the judge, Ripple, and the SEC were discussing something. The subject of their discussion was mostly what the SEC considered privileged. It had to do with what documents they're basically hiding, and I guess Gun says I guess I'm late. No, we've just started 2 minutes ago, man. You're still at the start of the start. You're all good. Where you guys are watching from right now, guys? We have 250 people in. We have about 36 likes pressed, which is always interesting. I mean, if you guys just press that like button, we can get instantly to 250, because there's right now about 250 people watching. We have about 330 people in total. If you didn't press it yet, guys, make sure you help the channel out a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't give me any money. It just helps the video and live stream perform a little bit better. And then it gets shown to multiple people, I think. So again, don't press it just for me. Press it if you actually enjoy the content and want to help out. That's all. All right. Having said that, story time. On the 31st, the discussion was about privilege and what the SEC could basically hide in terms of documents, and that they didn't have to show to the judge, basically. Or a Ripple for that matter, because the judge obviously didn't see it, but Ripple didn't either. Now, Ripple argued that the SEC went over the entire list of their documents and said, everything is privileged. What are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about that Ripple, a couple of months ago already, asked the SEC to give Ripple information regarding the status of Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP internally. So what they thought throughout the last couple of months and everything like that. Give us some info about that. So they went to the judge. The judge said, yeah, you should get that, which was nice for us. We really rejoiced. It was all good. However, the SEC said, no, we shouldn't give it to you because it's privileged. Okay. So second time, they asked the judge, do you have to give it over, yes or no? The judge said, yes, you have to hand it over. Now, for the second time, however, the SEC didn't do that. Last but not least, they claimed that everything that they should give over is privileged, as I just described to you, and that they do not have to hand anything over because it would compromise them or other SEC members. And the conclusion is that the judge now said, well, you know what we're going to do? Send me a good portion of those documents, unredacted in physical and digital form. I'll look over them, and I'll see for all of us in a video review, which is just, again, she's going to review it under a video, basically. If or if not, the documents should be privileged. And what privilege, again, means is that it should be hidden and not be able to be used in court, basically. by the way, I was listening to some music. Maybe I should actually turn it off. I am open right now. Lacrimosa from Mozart. From the Requiem. If you guys are wondering, I should turn it off. I never really listened to too much of the music, to be honest with you. Risto says, I hate this likes begging. I like if I want, and that's it, dude. Risto, respect for you, my friend. If you, once more, if you don't want to like, that's all good. If you like it, you do. I just know for a fact that a lot of people forget about it, and a lot of them, when I remind them, they're like, oh, I can just press the like button, because it helps the video perform a little bit better. For the rest, once more, you don't ever have to press it, and I just ask because a lot of people say, oh yeah, I forgot about it. So I'm sorry if you despise it or don't enjoy, my friend. I try not to say too often, but once more, it does help the video out, which is why I sometimes remind people of it, if you're wondering about that. All right, so tomorrow is going to be the day where basically the judge is going to get to see a good portion of these SEC documents, and Ripple is basically going to get the most, at least the way I see it, they're going to get an unredacted document, I think overview mostly, because it says here the unredacted documents is going to be delivered to the judge, and Ripple would receive a redacted form. And redacted basically means, well, let's for example, that 90% of the things are blacked out. However, I personally think that Ripple's just going to get kind of an overview of what documents the judge has gotten, but not really too much about what's inside. It's more of an overview, as I said before. Or they're going to get the same type of documents that the judge is going to get, but then really heavily striped through, which basically means that people will not, or at least Ripple or whatever, will not be able to see exactly what was in any of the things, which again is going to happen tomorrow. Now, that's again going to be also the SEC's, I think, right? Because that's what I'm thinking here. They're going to have to give over the info, and I'm hoping kind of that they also have to give their story as to why they think everything like that is privileged, because exactly 2 weeks from then, Ripple can file an opposition. Right, so the Ripple defendants' opposition to the SEC September 14th's letter brief concerning the allegedly privileged documents the SEC is withholding. So, as it currently stands, I think tomorrow the SEC is going to send a letter to the judge with a lot of these documents attached to it, why they think they should be privileged, and the judge can go over them in a video review. So they're going to also send the same thing to Ripple, but in a very, very, very redacted form, which basically once more means kind of an overview, but most things blacked out. And then 2 weeks later, Ripple can reply and say why they don't think that these things should be privileged. And once more, the judge basically asked on the 31st, how long do you need for this? The SEC said 14 days or 2 weeks. Ripple also said we want 2 weeks. It could be that they're going to do it earlier, but I think they'll both take it to the last of the last, because there's a lot of things to review. And well, it doesn't really matter too much when it comes out, guys, because ultimately the judge has to go over all these things, and if she does it today or in 2 days from now, it doesn't matter that much. It's not that big a deal. This, however, is a critical ordeal. So how quick and when isn't that big a deal, but the ordeal itself is ridiculously important. Somebody says, can you zoom out a little bit? Yeah, of course. So once more, September 14th and September 28th are just the most important dates for us right now in the lawsuit. All of these are cool, right? All of these are important because, for example, tomorrow, there's also going to be a Brad Garlinghouse deposition. And I actually forgot to put that in the title. But tomorrow, Brad Garlinghouse is also going to be deposed. So basically, the SEC is going to have to ask Brad Garlinghouse questions about everything. And I actually, guys, I took some time today to read through the entire, I'm not going to lie to you. I came to about page like 35 or so of the Ripple complaint, which basically means what the SEC wrote to Ripple, or to the judge, basically, to Ripple, whatever you want to call it right there, when they were basically asking for a trial, a civil trial, or civil case, whatever you want to call it, on the 22nd of December 2020. And a couple of fun things in there, which at least I personally have found, is, for example, if you start to look at how they consider XRP and how everything was formed and whatnot, it's really peculiar. The fact that I've never fully understood everything. I mean, I've read through this, but mostly glanced, right? This time, I'm reading it thoroughly just to see if we've missed something. And one thing to state is that I'm guessing right now that if you look at the start of it, if you look at the significant other persons, for example, once more, guys, this is the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, the complaint, the initial one. If you look here all the way at the top, right, they're basically saying related entities and individuals. One fun part is that this Ripple agent number one, or one of these Ripple agents, there's a very good chance that one of them is actually Jet McCaleb, isn't it? Let's actually see how old Jet McCaleb actually is. He right now is 46 years old. But the question is, was he like, because he was 45, for example, when this happened, right? Which could be this individual. for example. Because I'm not sure if Larson is mentioned in there, but I think Larson is a lot older than Jim McCallum. Let's actually see. Chris Larson. Let's see how old he is. He is about 61 right now, so he should have been like 60 at the time. Then again, it also could be that they're talking about the age when they found it. However, I think that is the age right now. And so what this shows is that in this related entity and individuals, co-founder, I personally believe, is a 45-year-old man from California who co-founded Ripple and received 9 billion XRP. That really describes Jim McCallum, who is, again, 46 right now, co-founder of Ripple, got 9 billion XRP, and is not, again, 61 years old like Chris Larson, who is the other co-founder. And we have a couple other people who, quote-unquote, co-founded, like David Schwartz co-founded the XP Ledger to some degree. You have Arthur Brito. But those guys didn't get as much XRP, at least not 9 billion. So, right? Very peculiar. I'm assuming the co-founder here is meaning, again, Jim McCallum. And so he is related in the lawsuit, and he is actually mentioned multiple times as you go and progress throughout this story. No, reiterate that. He's mentioned a ton of times throughout this story. However, there's no real complaint against him. But I think, kind of, right? Because here they're saying Larson and co-founder established Ripple. They're talking about how Jed McCallum made all of this. I'm wondering, first of all, why he's not included in the lawsuit too much. He's mentioned almost everywhere. You know, how he founded it and how 20 billion XP was given to the founders of XRP and how they decided to do things with XRP. Yet, no further problem is stated. I mean, the cryptographer number one, I believe, is David Schwartz. He was questioned to the bone. He was questioned a ton of times. So why not Jed McCallum then? Something I just don't really know too sure. I actually saw a donation come in from Mohammed Malah. He said, "Hey bro, do you think the DXY will shit itself?" That's a good question. That's a good question. Let's actually look up a chart, I guess, for the DXY. Let's see. Because why would it actually do bad right now? For what reason? Because of inflation, you mean, or what? Let's pop open the dollars. Let's pop open the dollars here. I mean, I'm not too big of a forex type of guy, to be honest with you. And the dollar, I mean, I personally don't hold too much dollars except for USDT, as I'm just personally always thinking, yeah, it's better to hold crypto. But yeah, why would it do bad? What do you mean exactly, Mohammed? Or do you mean a crypto that's also called DXY? Or do you mean the dollar index, which is often considered DXY? Maybe you mean something else. Hey, Dusty. Greetings from Suffolk. I don't know where that is, my friend. I have never heard of Suffolk before. PD says DXY inverse proportional to XRP. But DXY usually stands for the dollar index. That's what DXI is, at least the one that I know. Mohammed says a potential head and shoulders pattern forming. Mohammed, I'm not a forex trader. I don't actually mess around with this too much, and I'm also not sure exactly what head and shoulders you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about a real short term, like, for example, this movement with that's I mean it's a little bit skewed, or are you meaning a broader one? I don't know, man. I don't really trade the dollar at all. Maybe you mean it like this. Actually, never mind. I think you mean this one. With here the neckline, basically. The neckline is the 200 EMA, basically. Is that what you mean, my friend? Oh, Dusty does. Mama says yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, I can definitely see a head and shoulder pattern in there, but I don't really trade this, nor am I too involved or care too much about the dollar in that sense. You guys are talking about it a lot. What is going on with that? The dollar average is inversely correlated with the crypto market. That could be, guys. I haven't really focused too much and I haven't paid too much attention to it. I would have to go and dive a little bit deeper to actually understand, guys. So once more, if you want a really half-assed answer, I can try, but it's not my expertise right now. Jordan says it's because coins get mentioned an inverse correlation from the dollar and XRP. That's peculiar. DXY down, XRP up. Really? Okay. DXY XP correlation. Let's see if we can find something. Correlation. You can also calculate it, but that's going to take a long time. Let's see the correlation on this website. See if I can find some official correlations. Because I'm thinking if the dollar index goes down and XRP goes up, I mean, that's from a certain perspective kind of logical, right? Because it also works this way. I mean, XRP is valued in dollars. So if $1 becomes worth, you know what? I'll actually just look it up here. Why am I wasting my time thinking about this? Let's see what we can find. We have a ton of correlations, but it's all on TradingView, so nothing too official. Correlation to predict the market. This is kind of interesting. Correlation trading. Bitcoin. But guys, couldn't we just... whatever, man. This is not my expertise. This is not my field, guys. I can try, but it's not my field. Let's skip this for today. We might talk about it later or tomorrow if I actually find some more info about it. I'll check around, guys, and I'll see you to it. All right. So, point I was trying to make here is that Jen McCallum is mentioned a ton of times in the lawsuit document here throughout. I went to check it, and literally, co-founder is mentioned so ridiculously many times. Yet, if we look at all the depositions that have been done, I found David Schwartz's deposition, and I found almost any Ripple employee, specifically the ones that were mentioned, for example, in this list. I believe all of them have been deposed or questioned. I'm not sure if Arthur Brito was actually questioned, who is also one of the co-founders, so to speak, but David Schwartz at least was, and a lot of those other guys. So I'm not too sure, guys. If Jim McCallum actually ever got a deposition, we would have to read through all SEC exhibits basically and really look properly if they let a hint go of something like that. But it would be rather difficult to go find. Tony says, hi, Dusty. What's up, Tony? What's up, my friend? Bobby says, if the dollar goes down in value, people look for other places to put their dollars like stock or crypto. Let's think about this in a broader sense. If the value of a dollar goes down, it could be, for example, more dollars are coming into circulation, so the value per $1 is down. Theoretically speaking, purchasing power goes down, but that's mostly a future type of thing, right? So people start to spend more, and the whole circle goes around because that's an incentivization for a market. So obviously that's good for the market. People start to spend more. Together with that, interest rate usually goes down, so people can again loan more and spend more right down the current. So people are less likely to save their money up. What are you guys all talking about? Let's see. How's everything going? Top Cop says, I'm doing very well, my friend. Hopefully you guys are doing a good too. Dusty, more like musty. Oh, got him. JK, much love, bro. XRP is the standard, by the way. Much love, my friend. Much love back. Thank you all for coming by and saying hi. Once more, I appreciate every single one of you stopping by. But yeah, point is, they're basically complaining that XRP was centralized at the start, that Ripple founded it with no real plan in mind, that they got 100 billion XRP, basically transferred 80 billion XRP to Ripple later and kept 20 billion for themselves, 9 billion to each co-founder and Larson, and 2 billion to Ripple Agent 1 as compensation for Ripple's founders. After this transfer, Ripple and its founders controlled 100% of XRP, which I guess from a certain perspective is true. They then started to think about how they're going to do things, and I believe cryptographer number one is David Schwartz. He said, the people who created XRP are pretty much the same people who created Ripple, and they created Ripple originally to, among other things, distribute XRP. That's all kind of negative, right? You might say, oh, that's not nice. Well, point of mine is actually here, number 49. So what is funny is Ripple and Larson originally called XRP Ripple credits, and for several years thereafter, in the digital asset space, simply referred to the digital asset as ripples. So from some perspective, right, their narrative is to say XRP is surely a security because, well, they had a lot of it, they controlled most of it, and they gave some expectation of profits, yada, yada. However, I like to see it from a different perspective, guys. If Ripple credits is what it's called, because these coins, I'm going to take off my AirPods, make sure I can actually, I don't know. Sometimes I have better performance without AirPods. I don't know what it is. If I can, I don't know. I have better hearing that way. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it means. If Ripple had XRP, which they gave out to the public, sold to the public, whatever, because those are basically a currency that they have in their ecosystem, is it a security? Well, I guess really no, though, if you start to think about it, right? Because, at least from my own perspective, if they think of this XRP as literally the currency for their own ecosystem, without the idea that the price should go up or has to go up or given an investment contract, if you're giving people a currency to transact with on your platform, it literally cannot be a security, right? At least that's kind of how I'm thinking about it now. You're not giving people the expectation that the price is going to go up or anything like that. You're just basically, you're making a token that works well in a sort of ecosystem that you're creating. And again, the question there, or the key part is also an ecosystem that you on your own are creating or that works really well with yours but can be used everywhere. That's, again, a really big difference and a really big question as well. The SEC is making it seem as if XRP can only work with the efforts of Ripple inside Ripple systems and would only be successful if. We all argue, well, even though Ripple is a really big factor for XRP's success, it's not the only one. And XRP can thrive and survive without Ripple. It's just a fact. The only thing is Ripple is one of those parties which just does a lot of it. But that's the same thing. A person who holds a lot of oil most likely will have the best incentive to work out any best sort of news he can get for oil, for example. Same thing for a freaking diamond miner. Right now, guys, in this world, there are entities which control the amount of diamonds that get put into circulation to keep and inflate the price high, basically, to keep it high. Why? Well, because diamonds really aren't that rare. If you get a really big one, well, maybe, but just normal diamonds aren't that rare. But there's a scarce amount of diamonds that get put back into circulation to keep the price up. Doesn't mean that all diamond sellers are security hodlers or security sellers. No. They have a lot of it. They have the best interest in it. And a lot of different companies out there have kind of got a monopoly on this world. Yet they're not treated in the same sense. Just because I guess crypto is kind of a new thing. But eventually I think that will turn around. So I'm not really too worried about it. However, another one interesting point is that this is, again, from 2020, right? This is not a new document. Ripple's lawyers warned that Larson and Ripple, or basically warned Ripple and Larson that XP could be a security. This is all the way back in 2020. They already said it. However, if you look through this, guys, it's really peculiar because Ripple sought the advice of an international law firm regarding certain state and federal legal risks associated with the distribution and monetization of XRP, which is logical because you always got to look for some lawyer to make sure what you're doing is good. The law firm provided two memos, one on February 8, 2012, and another on October 19, 2012, the legal memos, that analyzed the risks. The first memo was addressed to the co-founder and another individual, and the second to Larson, the co-founder in Ripple. So this one, the co-founder is, again, Jim McCaleb, Larson, the co-founder in Ripple. Hey, so actually, a first memo was only given to Jed McCaleb and another guy. The second was Larson, Jed McCaleb, and Ripple. The legal memos warned that there were some risks that XRP could be considered an investment contract and thus security under the federal security laws depending on various factors. These included, among other things, how Ripple promoted and marketed XRP to potential purchasers, the motivation of such purchasers, and Ripple's other activities with respect to XRP. If individuals purchased XRP to engage in speculative investment trading, or if Ripple's employees promoted XRP as potentially increasing in price, the legal memos warned that Ripple would face an increased risk that XRP units would be considered investment contracts. Both memos warned that XRP was unlikely to be considered currency under the Exchange Act because, unlike traditional currencies, XRP was not backed by a central government and was not legal tender. So a couple of things to say right there. This is one critical point here that the lawsuit, we don't really hear too much about anymore. The fact that you are most likely not going to become a currency because you're not backed by a central government and you're not legal tender is such a conservative view, right? Because if the government doesn't officially recognize you as a currency and it becomes legal tender, you're not a currency. Just because, you're not one, so you're basically something else. From this definition that the SEC uses in one of the letters, again, this is the original complaint against Ripple. It's nearly impossible from just following the law, the memo that they got, to actually be considered a currency. Which, once more, shows the flaw in how cryptocurrencies are evaluated right now because, theoretically speaking, crypto are never backed by a central government. That's the entire point of a decentralized network, basically. So how can you ever then become a currency if it needs to be backed by a central government? That's kind of stupid, at least in my opinion. But then again, the definition is changing because apparently legal tender, crypto can become legal tender like it happened in El Salvador with Bitcoin. Now, the previous point here was that Ripple was warned. Now, the judge actually came back on this point a couple of times because she did say, for example, that whatever Ripple got, and that's actually one thing I've been researching from John Deeden. I basically put up an interesting search query here to look through what he said because I remember he said it around the September 1st mark or something like that. And basically throughout this journey, he has also expressed multiple times how Judge Netburn seems to see this entire situation with how basically, let me actually see if I can find it here because the judge, I have a lot of things open. I had a better story, but I kind of forgot because there's so much stuff I want to talk about right now today. Let's see if we can find what the judge has said specifically. Whatever. Here's one part of it. As Judge Netburn correctly stated, the recklessness standard requires a determination of whether what Garlinghouse thought was objectively reasonable, and if market participants, including SEC, didn't believe XRP was a security, it can be reckless. So the point being, like it's been said multiple times here, but I just have to kind of find it. It's not about what Ripple thought or what Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larsen thought. It's about what's really on paper, what officially they did wrong. And at least as it currently stands, guys, that's actually the big determination right now that needs to be made. Notice also that the SEC intentionally didn't answer the judge's question on whether the recklessness standard was objective or subjective. Yesterday, I tweeted that the standard is objective, and it doesn't matter what Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larsen was told. And the judge basically agreed with that as it currently stands as well. That whatever Ripple thought, and even in their complaint here, whatever Ripple thought they were doing, or whatever they were told by some attorney, which, by the way, the judge agreed with, whatever they were told by an attorney, it don't really matter that much, because that's all subjective. It doesn't matter. It's about the rules that were there. So they're putting a lot of emphasis on this memo, basically, that Larsen was going through, or the Ripple team was going through. But in the end of things, this is all just kind of voided. It all does not matter. Because even if a lot of lawyers wrote that XRP could be eventually be called a security, doesn't really mean. Now, one thing I did really understand, to be honest with you, this is actually not bullish, not bearish, is how Larsen also explained that XRP he received upon Ripple's founding was compensation for personally assuming the risk of being deemed the issuers of securities, namely XRP. I don't know officially what this part is about, but that could also be the SEC just changing words a little bit, because I literally do not know. In other words, as Larsen himself explained, he was paid at the outset in an asset, potentially worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to assume a risk he knew existed, that the sale of the asset could constitute an offering of securities for which he would be held responsible. Right? That I have no clue about how that works, so do not ask me about that one. Now, a lot of times they often talk back about how they sold and promoted XRP as an investment. But again, the judge is kind of hammering on that one, that is a complaint which the SEC keeps on making that most likely will not be too relevant. But that we'll see, because those two things are different complaints. If they're saying, hey, XRP is a security and it's not a currency, that's one thing. But if they're saying, okay, XRP was marketed and sold as a security, or basically marketed as a security mostly, it's a different story once more. All right, and then there's a lot of stories about how Ripple came about. Ripple gave their XRP out and whatnot. And I again, read to about page, I think, 34, 37, something like that. It's really freaking interesting, man. It's really kind of crazy. However, the point being, Ripple never had a crowdfund that Ethereum did have. And a lot of you guys said, please, Dusty, over in Telegram, which, by the way, I recommend you all to join. We have an alerts Telegram, which I have pinned. And we also have a group Telegram. I'll quickly put a link down there that you guys can join to just say hi. I'm always in this Telegram right now. I'm really active in there, so if you have a question, just ask me. I'll try to reply. However, it's a public group. It's not private, so don't put any personal information in there. But you might want to join. It's the group right now. Right now, there's 900 people watching. Make sure you join the Telegram group if you haven't done it yet. And again, the alerts is just basically so you get a notification every time I upload something. Because I'm going to share it every time in there. Because otherwise, guys, YouTube just doesn't send notifications out for some reason. So I'm thinking maybe it's smart for you to be, just, I don't know. I personally think it might be smart to be in the alert group. I've also pinned that one down. Don't tell me what to do. All right, my friend. You can do whatever you want, guys. Jamie says, why is BitBoy saying two things about XRP? I don't know what you mean, my friend. But yeah, that was a part I wanted to quickly share. A lot of you guys were saying yes. How do I keep dropping money? To be honest with you, I didn't know I have cash money, specifically coins. I don't know where they keep coming from, because why all of a sudden is there 10 cents everywhere? Peculiar. You drop money because you have XRP, baby. That would be funny, huh? Drop money? Yeah. We did. Let me see if I still have it. We still have the long open. Yes. Somebody asked in the chat box right now, do you still have your long open on XRP? I do. I do still have it open. Why? I've told you before, this is not a short-term trade. I'm not really planning to get rid of my trade anytime soon. I just want to keep it going through. If we go to the moon, I'll be part of it. Right now, XRP is, in my own opinion, actually still going sideways. It's making some slightly lower lows, but it's still within margin, in my own opinion, guys. You kind of see, here's the line, which we could put in if we really wanted to. But it's still within the margin. You can see where we made some lower points here, here, and even just yesterday, I guess. So, no, we're not doing that negative, not that crazy, to be honest with you. Do you think XLM will run alongside XRP? Yes, I firmly believe so. XRP and XLM have really similar technology. The chance is really high that it's going to be working in the exact same way. Let's actually conclude what I said at the start of the video, guys, for all the people that are just tuning in. What we started at the beginning of this video is, first of all, the SEC has to give over tomorrow their documents to the judge, in which they explain why they kept documents hidden from Ripple that regard their privileged info, which concerns Bitcoin, Ether, and XRP. It's going to be a critical document that the judge is going to overview. And yeah, like I even explained earlier, there could be a lot of cool stuff in there. There could be nothing. But whatever it says, the status of Ether internally in the SEC is critical to Ripple. And whatever it says, as long as Ripple gets this information, oh, that's going to be beautiful, in my own opinion, for the Ripple v. SEC lawsuit. Because Ripple explained before, albeit negative, albeit positive news, we can use it. Because any determination that the SEC made, albeit nothing, right? Anything is usable. If the SEC said, we've never made a statement on Ethereum, Ripple can use that. Because if they never made a statement on Ethereum, and never made a statement on XRP for that matter, then how could we have known? They can also compare those two things to each other. Then again, if they did let go of a statement, they can compare Ethereum to XRP again, and all things are going to also get really juicy from that perspective. Also because then they've lied to the public, and then maybe potentially the William Hammond speech was more clarity than it might seem. So a lot of bullish things could come out of tomorrow, as the judge is going to see the info, and she's going to decide whether or not Ripple can get that info too. Ripple's going to get the redacted letter so they can reply 2 weeks later. It's going to be critical. But also, guys, also, Brad Garlinghouse is going to be deposed tomorrow. So basically, Brad Garlinghouse will be put on the pedestal, and he's going to have to talk to the SEC about anything that they ask him, which can take upwards of 8 hours of just sitting in a chair answering questions. Just a full-on interrogation is what it is. So once more, tomorrow is that point. Somebody says, what's your exit? Please, Zakian, just put it down once or twice. That's good enough, my friend. If you put it down once, I'll answer your question once more. Please don't spam. Dusty, stop answering that man's question. Yeah. If you just don't spam, I try to go over everything. What site is this? This is Twitter, my friend. Or this is the official SEC website. This one. Nothing will happen tomorrow. Maybe a fake green candle and retailers getting shot all over as usual. Mr. Canpack says, well, it's not about price, honestly. It's mostly about the progress in the lawsuit, if you ask me. And the progress is really good. Price, though, if we're talking about it honestly, my own expectation is just following Bitcoin, because even though all this stuff is so nice and so juicy. What is that sunshine meeting, by the way? Is that tomorrow as well, or is that the day afterwards? I think the day afterwards, isn't it? And this is Bybit. This is the exchange I use, by the way, to trade XRP. You guys can check it out right now. Link is down below. There's also $3,650 worth of bonuses that you can get. So once more, if you want to trade on this platform too, you might want to check it out. It is called Bybit, and a link is down below. We're also doing a pretty big competition soon, so the link is down there at the top of the description. I'll also link it once so you guys can check it out. There we go. Okay, so you're invited. It says XP, yeah. A crypto up and coming. The rise says, think it's better to go long on XLM compared to XP because it has a lower price point. No, a price point for that matter doesn't really matter. You can't say that XLM is really smaller overall, and so there's more gains potential, but that's also not true. Because, of course, a coin that's in the 500 spot has better gains potential than XRP because XP is in the top 10. Then again, it doesn't mean that XRP will actually not just do better. I mean, that coin in the 500 spot can go to the 1,000 spot and actually lose you money. While XRP, yeah, you guys get that drift? Lower is not always better. Is there any chance it's settled tomorrow? Yeah, but a very, very small chance. I don't think it's going to settle tomorrow. Tomorrow, however, will be a really huge day. That is true. It will be a really huge day, but I don't think settlement huge. Theoretically speaking, it can be a settlement once the SEC decides tomorrow that they do not want to give the SEC, the judge, the documents. So if you had to pick a date, that tomorrow is kind of important in that regard. But I personally think that the SEC would rather just give it over to the judge with some really good arguments as to why it's privileged, hoping that the judge is going to side by their side. Because they could always say, we want to settle once the judge denies the privilege and Ripple has to see all the documents. From which point Ripple has a really good position if they get to see it. Do you think Elon Musk will tweet out that he will accept XRP payments for Tesla? No, I don't think so. Jamie says, might not be settled, but we may be relisted. But tomorrow? I don't know exactly why that would be tomorrow, guys. What time is it scheduled for? There's no time necessarily. We'll see tomorrow when it comes out. Only a firm settlement announcement will help bring money into XRP and drive it up. Everything else is pointless. I very much disagree. You can have a settlement or a summary judgment conclusion, or even a small settlement for that matter. Everything that's, a conclusion of XRP not being a security would be amazing. So, Bearable Bulls said to think like the case was already settled. That's like my own thought process often, but I don't want to tell people to think about it that way. Because what I personally always think, right, is I'm just buying XRP because I personally think they'll win anyway. So I personally see it as if right now the XP price should be, for example, about $10 or so, but I get to buy it at 1. So every single dollar that I'm spending right now is going to 10 times in a year. At least that's what I'm, kind of thinking in my head. However, the reason I don't tell people that too often or with too much emphasis and always add the disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor or that it's not certain is because what if it doesn't, right? If you're making people happy with such statements, you have to be able to back it up. And just honestly being here, even though I personally think that's that way, it doesn't mean that it's actually going to happen. Because as we've seen with the entire Ripple v. SEC lawsuit, there's a lot of BS happening. Honest. When is the discovery phase over? So the fact discovery is already over, but the expert discovery ends November 12th. Oh yeah, by the way, I guess we're going to get another Senate conclusion on the infrastructure bill at the end of this month, right? Because that's when they get back from summer break. So the Senate is also going to happen at the end of the month. I've kind of forgot about that one, to be honest. Let's see what else I got, though, because I got a lot of stuff. So John Dean was kind of ranting about that a couple of weeks ago, basically, about the entire situation. I covered most of the stuff that he's put out. So I don't think there's really too much new, except for the fact that we can now kind of add things together and kind of conclude things together. So that is kind of interesting. We also have, let's see here, John Dean going pretty crazy the last couple of hours. For example, he said, "This is an example of an objective analysis, and it should be applauded. Ryan is not a fan of Ripple, and that is saying it politely. Many people dislike Ripple and XRP and have chosen to intentionally ignore or remain ignorant regarding the SEC's conduct and complicity." It says here, a little bit earlier, 3 hours ago, interesting Ripple nuggets in the Hinman deposition. Pitting XRP, Ripple versus Ethereum consensus to highlight different treatment Ethereum/consensus received from staff. Pushing for access to internal staff notes, Hinman says they explored Ripple going public to reduce asymmetries, points to the Hinman speech on ETH as no longer a security, plus December 2017 meetings with consensus as preferential treatment for ETH versus XRP. Looks at metadata from prepared Q&A following the Hinman speech that says 10 different lawyers is 10 different crypto opinions. SEC counsel asked whether Hinman ever told Ripple executives he believed XRP was not a security. Argues that this is external communications, but here's how Ripple's lawyers could get access to the privileged deliberations, SEC deliberations XRP. SEC actually discussed Ripple registering as a public company to reduce asymmetries on XRP. Told them to stop selling XRP unregistered. We're concerned about the market asymmetries, and Ripple's IPO could be one solution. A safe harbor could help. This is maddening. We could be in such a better spot from an innovation growth, market structure, and investor protection standpoint if the SEC staff would simply engage on a safe harbor and reasonable remediation efforts for prior token sellers. I don't know what this word's supposed to mean. Let's not read that out loud. But this case could hinge on Hinman's 2018 Ethereum speech. deposition, and parallels between XRP and Ethereum. From an eyeball test, repeated Ripple/SEC meetings post-Hinman speech, with no 2018-2020 injunctions, make the December 2020 lawsuit look like an ambush, which John Deaton also, kind of came in on. And finally, this is the big one that caught my eye. No third parties were given a heads up that they believed XRP to be a security. Instead, US platforms were left scrambling to delist XRP after the SEC guidance, hurting retail investors most. And that is again after the SEC basically admitted it a little while ago. We were all going crazy about that at the time. Big shout out to Jermaine actually for letting me know that. So this is, by the way, founder at Masari, Ryan Selkis. He was pretty negative on XRP a couple of times. A lot of times that when we read him, he's not, being that amazing. Let me actually, again, take off the pants here. It's getting pretty hot. I need to put on some shorts. I, by the way, cut my foot open for any of you guys wondering. If you wonder about my health, I cut my foot, man. Accidentally. And now, turning on socks and everything like that is annoying because, well, you have an open wound. You guys know me? So that's a little bit annoying. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to go about that. It's actually been, because I'm sometimes thinking about it, it's been a really long time since I actually got like a good open wound. Dudes wears my XRP says, we're the new 1%! And Dusty cut his foot. Yes. It's not that bad, guys. It's actually not, it's not that crazy. It's not that heavy. Andrew says, what up, D? What's up, my friend? Wear flip-flops, fool. I have those like bathtub slippers. I don't have flip-flops themselves, but the bathtub things, they, or you know what I mean? Like the bath flippers things. I don't know what they call it, freaking things. Yet, those make it only worse because it's in that area. So I have to buy flip-flops then. But yeah, to go to the store, I need some freaking shoes, right? But then I need to open the wound again. Because every time I put a... Hold up, wait a minute. Bandage? Is that the word for pleister? Guys, Dutch is my first language. Oh, Band-Aid is the English word. I was like, oh, what in the world? All right. We have more John Dean stuff. I think even more alarming is that Coinbase went to the SEC in January of 2019, specifically to discuss XRP and its intent to list XRP on its platform. Coinbase walked the SEC through its analysis of why I believe XRP was not a security, and the SEC said nothing to the contrary. And again, guys, about the fact that Jeremy Hogan just said, they never gave the heads up. And also, Wiseman says, so Coinbase widely listed. After this meeting with the SEC, Coinbase listed XRP in February of 2019. They suspended trading along with others because of the SEC enforcement action against Ripple, alleging that XRP is a security. Yet again, even this discussion here was with SEC members, like we saw. Peculiar. I also saw this just now. Walmart confirmed news about Litecoin partnership is fake. I don't know how people thought that the Walmart situation was real. Litecoin is right now going trendy because they thought it was working with Walmart, but yeah, I don't know. Bybit Worm says, hello, Dusty. Why the crypto community file TRO? I don't know what TRO is against SEC. While they haven't yet crafted regulation for crypto, since what they're doing really hurting crypto industry, is that possible? I don't know what a TRO is, my friend. Why the crypto community file TRO against SEC? Do you guys know what a TRO is in that sense? Andrew says, just cut out the foot. It won't bother you anymore. That's a good-ass suggestion. No worry. XRP is strong here since it's married to Bitcoin. Bitcoin now legal tender. Blah. Fair point. I mean, I guess eventually it doesn't matter too much. It will fix itself. I'm not too worried about XRP personally. A lot of people in the comment section keep saying, oh no, XP will never go above point, or XP will never go above point. Man, I personally feel sad for some of those people who really firmly believe that crypto, but specifically XP, is not going anywhere. Very interesting. In my own thought process, XP is really a good crypto and it really has some good potential. But people really, really hate it though. That I sometimes wonder about, like why? What made him hate it? What made him so angry or so strange about it? I don't get that too much. Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to continue on reading this letter as well, right? The entire letter for how much what Ripple did and what the entire complaint is. But again, it's 71 pages, and I mean, you only have so many hours in a day. I have a lot of stuff to do every single day as well. But it's fun, though, I guess, because it's also cool. You know, honestly, it's our... Oh, this I didn't know either. That Larson and his wife netted approximately $450 million. I kind of wonder how he pulled his wife into this entire scheme. That must be one nice of a position. Maybe I can file to become somebody's wife. If somebody's bagging $450 million, that's nice if you're the wife already, you know? That's pretty nice. And also, I think because a lot of the Chris Larson sales mostly, I think, are more in the United States than Garlinghouse's ones. Maybe that's actually why some of those things are also filed separately. But yeah, that's all besides the point, guys. I don't know exactly what to fetch from here that I can really use to prove you guys a point. Because a lot of this is just negativity thrown at Ripple's side. And I can't really look at these things and say, oh no, that's a lie, or oh no, that's fake, or that's propaganda, or anything like that. Because following this exchange, Ripple did not turn off the buying of XRP. Yeah, I mean, what can I say about that? Or a lot of these points, I just don't know enough, or don't know the good or bads about it. For example, here, Garlinghouse had a buyback option. Is that good? Is that bad? Does that mean anything? I don't know. Here it says, for example, later in approximately June 2020, Ripple employee prepared and delivered an internal presentation for Garlinghouse and Larson, in which the employees highlighted that XRP began underperforming Bitcoin since early May 2020, partially because Ripple's sales of XRP. The employees proposed supply limiting tactics, such as Ripple's buying back XRP. Garlinghouse approved a buyback. But then again, I'm thinking about that. That's also to keep a healthy ecosystem, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. These things are just too legally difficult in that sense for me to fully grasp them or give a good story to you guys, so I'm not going to attempt. I don't want to give you guys any information that is potentially untrue in that sense. I try to give you guys all the best info that I can find and that I know about. But it's just a really interesting battle, guys, and I'm really interested to see how it's going to play out, because personally, I think we're in a really good position. I think XP is looking extremely, extremely good. I do also wonder, maybe I haven't read about that yet. Did Ripple ever pay people to talk about XRP? Because I do see here that they, in 2013, at least, and through the offering, defendants made statements promoting XRP as described in the preceding paragraphs, which again can be disagreed upon. But I do wonder, did they pay people? Because once more, guys, I have never been paid a single XRP to talk about any of this stuff. But I do wonder if people did get paid for it. If so, how do I apply? How does that work? Can I also become one of those guys? So one thing that David Schwartz explained in the XP chat a long time ago in 2016, in response to the question, if Ripple failed, XP died, that he didn't think it's likely XP would succeed without us, though it's possible. But he continued, while there are significant technical obstacles to using XP as a bridge or vehicle currency, our XP strategy is based on promoting it as a bridging currency through various strategies, including paying traders an incentive. Sometimes I do wonder if David Schwartz just doesn't care about anything. Isn't that kind of funny? David Schwartz is a freaking beast in everything that he says. He doesn't hold back. It really feels as if he's always giving us the truth. He doesn't care about anything like that. Because this, you can definitely understand that even in 2016, Ripple was well aware that a statement like this wouldn't be the best for their future. Yet David Schwartz says it anyway. That man, it looks like he has no filter. I really, really respect this man, guys. David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, one of the co-creators of the XP Ledger. I really, really love that guy. John Deaton tweeted. Let's check it out. Let's see what went on. Let's see what's going on, guys. We have to look at crypto law, that is, huh? Can we find it somewhere here? No. Okay, let's type crypto law. Crypto law? Or I'm not sure what the... Yeah, there we go. Crypto law US. Okay, let's check it out. 1 minute ago, clarity. Okay, so this is actually a reply from 10 hours ago, which says Gary. Okay, it's more stuff about the Ethereum tobacco, guys. So I'm not going to focus too much on that today. That's for a different subject, different video. I'll talk about it more later today, guys, as I compile more info to give to you. Because every single time, we just have a freaking wash list of information that regards Ethereum and Gary Gensler and William Himon and whatnot. I wanted to mostly focus today on what's about to happen tomorrow. Big day, big event. I'm really excited. Garlinghouse deposition. We shall see. Guys, once more, if you haven't done it yet and you want to help the channel out, make sure you press that like button. You might also want to join the DustWC Telegrams. I have a group and an alert channel, so you get an alert every single time that I upload something new, because YouTube doesn't give you proper notifications. There's already a link right there pinned in the chat box. You might want to check that out. For the group, I'll also leave you guys a link right now, so you guys can check that one out too. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. And if you're wondering where I'm trading on, this platform is called Bybit. It's what I personally use. I like it a lot. And you guys might want to check that out too. Let's see. We're almost at 500 likes, which is pretty damn cool. Strange says, I don't see XRP moving anywhere for a long while. A lot of people's patience will be tested even more than they have been already. I also find that debatable. I mean, the XP price is already up at least 5 or 6 times. No, 6 times at least from where it was a couple of months ago. So from that perspective, I'm personally not too sad, angry, or impatient, really. We're already at $1 per XRP, which is pretty high for a lot of people that have been in early. It's pretty crazy. Same thing for Bitcoin, right? If you bought in three months ago, oh yeah, the Bitcoin price right now is really, really bad. However, if you bought in a couple of years ago, Bitcoin price is really amazing because it did times 20, for example. Paul says, I want to own all the XP on the planet. Yeah, a lot of people want that. All of a sudden, it will become your security, huh? Brad's deposition, is it virtual or in person? Judge reviewing docs. Gary Gensler in front of Congress. Crazy day tomorrow. Is Gary Gensler's thingy tomorrow or the day afterwards? I thought it was is it the 14th or the 15th? And is that the same as the SEC Sunshine meeting, or is that another day then? Let's see the dates for this, because I'm going to write it down. I need some freaking papers as well next to my desk, so I can just write things down whenever you guys say them. I have. Let's see what I got. Give me some notebooks. Where's the freaking note? But every time I'm in a hotel, I have freaking notebooks here. How come this establishment doesn't have some? Come on, I have no notebooks. Come on, what is this? Here we go. Here we got the notebooks. There we go. Okay, start everything. There we go. Come on, get out of the cabinet. All right, perfect. Let's take that thing down. There we go. All right, so let's see what you guys are saying. They have the Congress. Let's see the date, guys. When is Congress? You guys are saying check out Litecoin. Is Litecoin over on Bybit? It is. I never trade Litecoin. Never ever do. Yeah, do you know why this pump happened, guys? Because of Walmart. Because of speculation. That's crazy. Let's see. When is... Okay, Congress. Okay, XRP. Congress. Tomorrow. When is the SEC Sunshine meeting? In September. I think it's the 15th. SEC Sunshine meeting. September. Let's see. We have September 9th. We have September 15th. Yes, I believe that is it. Yeah. Tomorrow, 2 p.m., we have an SEC Sunshine meeting. This is right here. That is going to be a closed meeting. So Congress is tomorrow. Sunshine, the 15th. SEC Docs tomorrow. Brad deposition tomorrow. What else do we have that's important for in the near future, guys? Are we missing something? So again, the conclusion is we have tomorrow Gary Gensler before Congress. We have the Sunshine the 15th, so one day afterwards. SEC documents given to the judge, and Brad Garlinghouse's deposition. And I think that's basically what we got for right now. If I'm not mistaken, that's it. Senex says, do you think settlement is September? I personally don't really think so, no. Revenue says, no one can say anything bad about HBAR. Solid foundation, team, and partners. No negative media. Future looks bright. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's not really that much negativity about HBAR, to be honest with you. I recommend most people that I know HBAR. The only problem is, since my own personal return on HBAR is already so great, I sometimes find it scary to tell people about HBAR because it's like, the coin already went up so much right now. Same thing for QNT, like Quant or a lot of those coins. It's like, do you really want to tell somebody about it when a coin just went up this much? Look at Solana, for example. If I recommended it to a couple of people a couple of days ago, they would have now, had a big loss. So, okay, so those are the dates that we have in our near future, huh? Okay, looking bright, looking good, guys. Looking really good. If you were to ask me, that is. All right, once more, guys, I'll leave my links down below there so you guys can all check them out. We have Bybit, which is the exchange I use. We have the Telegrams, which you might want to check out for either the alerts function if you want to get notifications, or the group. Both of them are somewhere to be found in, I don't know, maybe in the video description sometimes, maybe not in the live stream description, actually. Apparently, those two have different descriptions. You have to edit them differently on their own, which is annoying. Make sure you join them, though, whatever one you think applies to you or you want to join. Let's see if some people joined. We have 2 people who joined, so you might want to check it out as well. We have 119 people in already, which is really fast, I think. It's really cool. The bigger it gets, of course, the better, because there's more people. But obviously, only join if that's something for you. Don't just join to make me happy. No, just join. Oh, guys, one thing that's critical is that there's an impersonator over on Instagram, actually. Because you guys keep telling me, oh, thank you so much for following me back. I don't follow you on Instagram, all right? This is the only Instagram that is real, the DustDBC. There's a scammer right now that has the .dustdbc. That is not me over on Instagram. There's somebody who's trying to scam you in some way, shape, or form, guys. It is not me. If you guys can, please go over to Instagram and report the guy that has a dot here. Once more, this is me, but he copied exactly everything that I have. You can also look because my profile started in 2018 or 17 maybe, and I have a couple of posts left from, let's see here, September 2018. All right, so that's another way to kind of see if it's me. Or you go to any of my videos, look in the description, and see what the official name is. This, once more, is my only Instagram. Every other one is a scam. They're trying to take you your money or something like that. I'm not sure. Be very, very careful, guys. Very, very careful. Please report any account that follows you that's not the official DustDBC, because you're most likely helping somebody else not get scammed. You don't want to see somebody think they're talking to me, for example, and get their money lost. That would just suck. So just quickly letting you guys know, I'm most likely not going to follow you straight out of the blue. That's really odd, right? Why would I all of a sudden go follow you now? That's pretty strange. Why would I do that? Even though a lot of you guys are nice, how do I know that it's you, if you know what I mean? Because a lot of you guys' names on YouTube and Instagram are different. So please don't think I'm all of a sudden following you. Same thing for Telegram. I will never send you a message on Telegram. Never private. All right? If I do send you a private message, I will first let you know in the Telegram itself, which then everybody can see, everybody can know. And then you can see it's the same Telegram, all right? So be careful. XP pumping. I mean, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're not doing amazing on the XP4 front, but we're not doing too bad. Our trade is a little bit better than it was a couple of hours ago. So from that perspective, yes. But not really a big pump. No, not really the amazing stuff just quite yet. What's going on with XRP? It's just following Bitcoin right now, guys. It's nothing too special, nothing too crazy. Bitcoin, I believe, retested 44,000. Let's actually check that out. Bitcoin is actually a little bit below that already, because we were talking right now yesterday about the 44,000 mark for Bitcoin. We just hinted a little bit below that. I think on a 4-hour, we might have not even closed below. Yeah, on a 4-hour, we didn't actually get too close below 44,000. To be honest with you, it's actually 44.4 thousand. That was the most important area. But I guess right now we're just getting back to the August 19th levels, huh? The entire area here, though, guys, is of critical importance for Bitcoin. We just want to stay within. So if you were to ask me, I think we're just retesting right now before coming back up. But we shall see. We shall see. There might be something else going on right now. What I did actually see as well is here. That Michael Saylor, like I shared it over on Twitter, has just bought a ton of Bitcoin once more. MicroStrategy purchased another 5,000 Bitcoin for $250 million in cash at an average price of 48,000 per Bitcoin. As of the 12 September 2021, we hold 114,000 Bitcoin acquired for $3.16 billion at an average price of 27,000 per Bitcoin, which is really crazy. But by the way, if you're wondering what MicroStrategy is, it's basically a stock which companies can buy to get Bitcoin, right? It's basically like that. Some people say it's a disaster waiting to happen, but it really isn't. It really isn't a disaster. Because they have a lot of loans is the only problem. But ultimately, I think the stock price kind of pays for that. So Do you think XLM will replace XRP if Ripple loses the lawsuit? No, I don't think so. I personally don't think that Ripple will lose the lawsuit, so that's a difficult thing altogether to kind of think about. I don't think they'll lose. And yes, XLM does have a different audience and a different side. I'll never forgive myself if I don't hold some Bitcoin. That's completely cool, my friend. You do you. I wouldn't worry about Ripple losing, my friend. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely worry about it if that's what you want to do. But ultimately, I think if Ripple does lose, the entire crypto market is so screwed that you better focus on just really looking at a better crypto strategy altogether. Because if Ripple loses once more, guys, it's going to be a really, really strange crypto market. Really, really odd. Huh. And by the way, some people wonder, why did they buy Bitcoin at this high of a price, right? 48,000, when Bitcoin, for example, was at 45. That's actually very often because if you want to buy this many Bitcoin, 5,000 of them, you can do it over the counter, but you're going to get a negative price. Or you can buy it off an exchange, but which one are you going to go for? Because buying this many Bitcoin will ultimately increase the price so much, usually, right? Because $250 million is such a huge amount of money if you want to buy it in a short amount of time, that you basically are eventually going to have to pay an average of, let's say, $60,000 on one exchange. Because if you, for example, did this in a market order, it's going to be really difficult. I guess if you put up a limit order, it'll eventually fill, but $250 million is just way too much to go through. So it's over the counter, and they basically just give you a really bad rate, but a solid rate. So this most likely is still cheaper for them than to go through the other process, basically. But yeah, guys, once more, the socials. On Instagram, it is DDustTBC. On Twitter, you kind of already know, but it is DDustTBC as well. Make sure you follow me on both of these. I'll also let a Twitter link down below there. And you also, I keep promoting the socials kind of. You have also the Telegrams, which are the alerts one, for if you want to be notified every time I upload something. It's just because the YouTube notification system doesn't really work too well. And we have a Telegram group. All of these links you'll find somewhere in my video description every single time. I'll leave them once more down there. You guys can check them out. And I'm going to end the stream right now. We talked about everything we need to talk about. Bitcoin retesting a lower area. We shall see how that's going to continue on forward. XRP reversed a little bit, which is peculiar because theoretically speaking, it should follow Bitcoin along to the ground. But I think XRP is also going to kind of trade a little bit lower, trend piece by piece. Not too afraid about it long term, though, guys. I think it will all be fine. And we have more videos, more live streams coming up. I have a lot of content to cover today, guys. So I'm not sure if I'll do videos or live streams later. But stick around. Make sure you are subscribed if you weren't yet already. And again, press the notification bell. But sometimes it will not work, which is why I put it over in this Telegram too. All right? Thank you all so much for stopping by, saying hi. I appreciate every single one of you for stopping by. You guys are all amazing. I want you to know that. Have a good day. Have some nice food. Go and sit on the toilet nicely. Have a good time. And see you guys again in another crypto video later today.